Morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing wonderfully well today. So we do have the energy complex perking up a little bit here. You got crude oil up a couple percent. Natural gas is the big one. That one is moving this morning. It was up over 4%, pulling back slightly. Now it's up about 3.5%. So um, energy is looking quite bullish today across the board. Natural gas has been very choppy in this range, but still remains bullish, holding key technical areas, coiling for the next leg higher, in my opinion. Bitcoin's getting hammered this morning. BTC losing structure here, going for new 52-week lows. Looking real nasty here. Getting slammed and rejected off these previous 2021 pivots, which opens us up to lower price targets on BTC. So I got some of the mags real quick. So gotta get some more coffee. SPX is still trying to set up a bullish inverse head and shoulders here, but tricky, very tricky. So a little bit of a buy side pressure hitting some of these defense stocks. Kratos gapping up this morning. You had AVAV report earnings. It was pretty good earnings overall. Stock has been in a heavy downtrend. They did post record revenue. So I expect AVAV to potentially squeeze a little bit higher today. Um, let's look at RTX. Some of the bigger boys. Yep, they're green. LNT, green. Some more coffee before we open. Solar stocks ripping here, guys. So dip buys in SEDG, EMPH, FSLR all look pretty good in my opinion. Just quickly run through the sectors this morning. So XLK is green right now, still holding yesterday's high. Very strong bounce. XLC, nice gap up. Communications are seeing some strength. XLY looking pretty decent, like it still wants to push higher. XLF lagging a touch this morning. XLU lagging a touch. XLV still looking pretty strong. Getting a little overbought intraday. XLI just chopping, but still looks like it wants to press higher. Real estate lagging a touch here. Energy is trying to get a small bump up through crude and natural gas, but they've both pulled back pretty sharply here. Wonder why is? Wouldn't be surprised to see yet again another choppy session. I think we're going to get chopped up and down all around. Be surprised to see this market get faded down and then bounce back up and chop us all around. So I'm not really looking to buy anything right off the hop, unless we get some dips in some of these solar names. But just gonna take it easy this morning and see what shapes up. We do have data at 10 a.m. that can be potentially market moving. So if you enter trades, just keep in mind Chicago PMI comes out 9:45. So that's in 17 minutes. And then you got your JOLTS and your consumer confidence. So the JOLTS job openings and consumer confidence in 30 minutes after open. So if you're in a trade approaching that 9:45 and 10 a.m., just keep that in mind. You could get a pop or drop. So it was a magnificent reversal and bounce on semis yesterday. We covered our Micron short in the chat down at the lows here. That ended up, I am looking at a potential reshort opportunity, but just got to be careful with these semis because they're on some next level liquidity. So far, Nvidia is up about $2 in the pre-market. Nvidia does look like it can press a little bit higher till it hits some resistance. But there's some daily chart resistance out on Nvidia around 198 Pierce. I might consider a short on Nvidia if we hit 198-ish. Mind it's also month end, so we could see a little bit of rebalancing and shenanigans into individual ETFs and tickers. Would not surprise me. Nice bounce on Kratos, KTOS. Nice bounce on Dragonfly, DPRO. So drone stocks are showing their strength this morning. DPRO is up 15%, give or take. So a nice stick there, guys. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Same thing with RDW. Not as much. Let's look at Ondas. Yeah, Ondas. Getting a little bit of a bid. AVAV still super strong. So Google's negative, Amazon's negative, Meta, Tesla, Micron all negative. Nvidia's still slightly green. Microsoft, Apple still slightly green. Microsoft's trying to push on the hourly chart. SPY still super strong. So it looks like both SPY and SOXX are trying to make a move for their gap fills. I'd say you could buy the next pullback, looks like. Drone stocks are still trying to fly. A little bit of a fade on SPY. Semis still remain intact. You got Micron that's still negative, but AMD pushing, Intel pushing. IWM's your lagging indice on the session today. The Russell showing a little bit of mixed price action, trying to lose this rising wedge pattern. Might not be bad to jump into IWM puts, guys. Let's look at these. Stop loss on IWM would be a move above this high pivot. So I'm going to look at jumping into some Russell puts. Tech is moving, acting quite well. Semis are still pushing. SOXX going for 623. Coin now down 3%. That is getting hammered. 1,800 bucks down. Big push on the Dixie. Microsoft getting slapped back to the negative side. Meta drop in. Semis are still eating everything today. Anyone jump into those IWM puts? You're laughing now. I picked up the 298s at $1.10. Nice drop on the Russell. If the Russell comes into a pierce of this orange moving average around 297.43, I'm going to trim half. Semis are still holding steady. Guys, I'm about to trim IWM puts. Come on, a little bit lower IWM, just a touch lower. It's hitting 10-minute chart support, but I'm looking for 15-minute pierce. Come on, Russell. Semis and SPY are still pushing. QQQ acting very well. Nvidia ripping. Almost up 2% now. IWM kind of moving inversely to the other indices. It is losing pre-market low. Again, I'm still sitting in 298 puts on the Russell. $1.10 is my average. Looking for this EMA to be tapped for a trim. Come on. So it's mainly tech and your semis that are rallying today. Lots of weakness throughout the rest of the market. You got some individual defense stocks moving, drone stocks moving. Software is a little bit weak today. Financials are weak today. MSTR getting slapped down 8%, guys. All right, my first trim on the Russell is coming up here, 297.42. I will look to trim half of my puts. Come on, another 8 cents away. Close, 10 cents away, 6 cents away. They're trying to balance it ahead of time. MSCI should drop dead, yeah. All right, we're seeing the US dollar trying to perk up just a touch here. Silver gold still showing some strength. BTC still down 3.2. Big bounce on the Russell. Sheesh, look at that candle bounce. All right, basically, puts are back to break even here. Seeing a little bit of softening in semis, but software is now trying to perk up. If the IWM gets back above pre-market low on this 10-minute candle, it does have a chance of pushing up, but you saw it had a big bounce, rejected off of pre-market low again, so it does look like it wants to go lower on the IWM. There's quite a bit of hourly chart support there. Putting a stop in place on this IWM put option. $1.10 is my stop on the 298s. Just in case they want to wick us right back up. SpaceX, Meta, Amazon, Google lagging, while Nvidia's up 1.38, Apple up 1, Microsoft up 0.38, Tesla slightly green, but mainly flat. Micron went green, up 0.6, AMD still strong, up about 3%. All right, my Russell puts, guys, this is approaching a stop loss zone. Again, pre-market low, if you recapture that, you want to be out of the Russell puts. There it is, stop loss was tagged. IWM is looking a little bit more bullish now, again, especially if it gets that 10-minute candle close. This is still technically an aggressive short level on the Russell, but I don't know now. I'm no longer in puts. I jump back into Russell 298 puts around 298.60. 298.60, I'll jump back into some 298 puts. So getting very close here. So struggling to get above that pre-market high. We'll see though, on a closing basis is the main thing. We do have some data coming out in 3 minutes. I can't believe both Germany and Netherlands are out. Wow, Germany, man, that was crazy. Out of the World Cup. So far, markets are holding steady. So if we get a pop off of this 945 data on the Russell, I'll look to jump into puts. Just gonna wait until we get that 945 candle, see what it is. If I miss the trade, I miss the trade. Uh, so far, a lot of red out there, but also pockets of green. So a bit of mixed bag. So whenever it's mixed like this across the board, it could be a bit of a chop fest. But SPY starting to squeeze. New high of day, pre-market high incoming. So this is technically where I would jump back into Russell puts right off this 298.50, but I don't know if they're going to give us a quick candle pop off of the data. So I'm just going to sit patiently waiting. What is the data? It's the Chicago PMI coming out. So forecast is 55.7. We will see what it comes in at. So back weakness starting to creep back into the picture. SOXX is still strong. Chicago PMI has come out better than expectations, 56.7. So it should, in theory, push the dollar and yields higher, but not really doing too much right now for the tape. All right, I'm going to jump into puts, guys. IWM puts. Stop will be 75 cents. So I am in IWM 298 puts with a stop at 75 cents. So I got to fill it 92 cents. Nice decline in the Russell. Good stuff. Good stuff. Trimming half my Russells. Nice little trade there on the IWM. Beautiful. Stop loss at break even for me. So the IWM still continues to see rejection off of a pre-market low. That's pretty bearish for now. 2 minutes left in that, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in that candle, that 10-minute candle, I should say. So come on, drop it low, IWM, drop it down. SPY still remains strong. IGV pushing. SOXX is still pushing as well. So you're seeing semis above their pre-market levels, high levels, while IWM is below its pre-market low levels. Nice. Did you QQ? I'd be careful with QQQ puts. You have tech strong, banks are weak, IWM's weak. That's why I'm picking on the Russell today. I'm seeing banks are weak, and there's a lot of small caps that are struggling. But that tech is still strong from those SOXX. So for me, there's more meat on the bone for the Russell today. And the Russell's right at that inflection point on the daily where it's trying to lose a rising wedge pattern. Rising wedge patterns, statistical probability of breaking lower. And we are seeing that slightly today. Not saying your Q puts can't work, but I just see more weakness in financials today. I haven't really looked at biotech. Yeah, biotech's also coming in here. Regional banks are almost near the lows, so I remember biotechs have been one of the strongest ETFs out there. Come on, Russell, just give up this 298 level. Just a nice flush. So if the Russell flushes now into kind of this upsloping trend line, this little prior gap fill, that's my next spot. If we get a hard flush down into this 297 area, 297 Pierce, that's where I'd take profits. Close the rest of these put options. Otherwise, I will stay short with a break-even stop loss. Healthcare breaking down. A little bit more weakness starting to hit your S&P. Come on, Russell, get rejection. Stay underneath that pre-market low. 20 seconds left in that candle. Stay underneath it. Drop it down. All right, so we did get a candle close below pre-market low. We'll see if they want to try to pop us up there again. They are trying to get a little bit of a bid. S&P still remains strong. Software, Microsoft firming up quite nicely here. It's up 0.81%. Close to being stopped out here at break even on the IWM runners, guys. Very close. Still in. SOXX still remains crazy strong. Natural gas trying to float a little bit higher. Is the stop loss tagged at break even on the Russell? Stop was tagged at break even. I'm going to look to re-enter some Russell puts. 298s I like again, but it's going to have to be a sweep of the high. Sweep of the high, I'll look to jump back into IWM 298 puts. Looks like they're going to push this market higher here. What a rip there. Big fat move. Look at them push SPY. Sammy's new high a day. Microsoft ripping, software pushing, SPY ripping. Wow. There's a sweep of the high, guys. I'm not in yet. Come on, take it out. That's a shortable level, though. I want to get a definitive pierce of prior day high, PDH. Market's trying to break out here on the Russell. There is a potentially dangerous bullish pattern forming on the IWM. Look at them squeezing your S&P into the gap fill. They are getting squeezy with it. You should have picked that high there for a short. Oof. Anyone took the sweep of those highs, you're laughing. I'm still interested in 298 puts on the Russell. Marvell's starting to squeeze higher. Sammys are still relentless this morning. Google softening up a little bit. Bitcoin's trying to bounce off of 58.5. Still remains pretty weak though. Sammys are just full bull. It's one of those days where it seems like semis are going to be a black hole, just sucking everything dry. Meta struggling. Wow. Meta is just getting pummeled. Nice bounce back on Tesla. I feel like Tesla's going to get faded again. I think I'm going to fade Tesla. Pray for me, but squeeze. I'm going to look to jump into some Tesla 410 puts. If we take out the high, hopefully it'll correlate simultaneously with SPY filling its gap. So 410 puts on Tesla I'm looking at getting into. But I have to see it take out the high. SOXX new high a day. The Russell's still struggling off this 298.50 area. Interesting. Microsoft trying to clear 372. Natural gas shaking and moving this morning. It's firming up quite nicely. Oh yeah, how are those solar plays doing? ENPH. Oof, what a nasty give back on Enphase. Wow, full round trip. That's crazy. Maybe it's time to go long solar. That's a nice give back. First solar still holding. Solar Edge still pushing. You know what? I'm gonna go long solar, guys. ENPH for a bounce here. I don't mind that actually. We're gonna look at Enphase $50 calls. EMPH $50 calls. That's what I'm going to go into. Into some Enphase calls, guys. $50 calls. Come on, Enphase. Retest higher. You can do it. Nice push on Enphase. Nice push. Come on, a little bit higher. Get me to 49.90. I'll take a trim. Come on. Go EMPH, go. SPY now coming into its gap fill. IWM still trying to firm up. Climb that 290.90. Come on, EMPH. Give me a little bit of a push into that 49.90 zone. Where I'll look to trim. Come on. SPY seeing a little bit of selling off the gap. Dixie's trying to push up a little bit. I'm going to put a break-even stop on my Enphase position now, guys. Break even. Just in case. Come on, EMPH. Push it. Dixie's still trying to climb a little bit. That, what was that data that just came out? Let me just get it for you guys. So, Jolt's opening 7.549. Higher than the consensus. Consumer confidence 91.2 coming in lower. It is popping the dollar, so puts are still favored here, guys. SPY getting nastily rejected. US dollar still trying to perk back up here. Come on, give me a push, end face. Give me a push into the 49.90 and I'll look to take profits. Nice push. Nice push on end face. Come on. IWM new high of day. Market is ripping. IGB new high of day. They are squeezing the tape, guys. Indices are ripping. IWM trying to trigger an inverted head and shoulders. SPY's just ripping, also trying to trigger a bullish formation. SOXX is still climbing. Still quite a bit of red out there across the landscape, but your mags are firming up here. Tesla's now green. Tesla was into that short zone. Let me look at that again. It hasn't officially taken out that high yet, but it's trying. Let's see if I want to fade Tesla. Come on, EMPH, just a little bit higher, man. Come on. Still waiting on Tesla to give us a new high of day to short. SOXX is still screaming higher. So I am looking at Tesla 410 still, 410 puts, but I want them under $4, around 380, 385 minimum. Come on, EMPH. Don't fucking stop me out here. Market's still screaming higher. IWM new high of day. New high day for Tessie. I thought the CTAs will sell like yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, it's been tricky. It's been tricky. All right, Tesla. I'm going to jump into 410 puts here. High risk. Tesla 410 puts. $3.40. EMPH stop me out, break even. Stop me out at break even on EMPH. All out of EMPH. Had a chance to take profits on that one, but they were just doing nasty things with it. IWM still pushing, new high a day. Oh, it's getting a nice bounce. It's Symbotic ticker SYM. Symbotic getting a really nice bounce. We are long in the swing trading group, and that's good to see. That one is pushing pretty hard, setting up a 7 and 20 bullish crossover. That's looking good. Come on, Tessie. Do a fake breakout here on Tesla. Come on. Sammys are still ridiculously crazy bullish. Healthcare still lagging quite a bit. Consumer discretionary XLY lagging quite a bit. Financials are red. Nice pullback on Tessie. Come on, give me a little bit more, Tessie. Give me a little bit more. Consumer discretionary is showing quite a bit of weakness this morning. Does look like it wants to head lower. Come on, Tesla. SPY still strong. SOXX new high a day. Sheesh, man. QQQ just ripping right now, up 1%. Wow, SOXX is just full bull. Wow, IWM also ripping to 300 now. Sheesh. Craziness. Bitcoin getting a nice buy program here. US dollar just had a fat rejection there. Wow. Why did that reject? The data came out already. That's interesting. Natural gas still is continuing to grind higher. Right, Tesla, be careful here, guys. Keep your stops tight if you're short Tesla, because it could go through one of those crazy squeezes. I do have a stop at $3. Tessie, what are you doing to me? All right, Tesla stopped me out at $3. Small loss there, but containing the loss to 45 cents there. Consumer discretionary is trying to firm up here. Russell 2000 still trading near the highs. You got S&P consolidating right underneath that gap fill. Ay, man. Fucking choppy. There goes end face again. End face still looks interesting, even on a swing trade basis. Nice squeeze on plug power today. New high of day for the Russell. Sheesh, that Russell's moving. All right, there is a new shortable level on the Russell. It's the Pierce of 300. That's that high pivot from last Friday. I'm going to put an alert there. I would short that level. But market, relatively speaking, still is looking bullish, holding steady. Your US dollar's falling here, trying to lose pre-market low. That adds extra bullishness for the tape. You're going to have small intraday pullbacks, but so far dips are being bought and the market is wanting to go higher. SPY could be setting up an intraday squeeze to 750 today. That's just the way what SPY's moving. After it needs some consolidation, you've cleared this chop zone on the hourly chart. You've filled the gap. So maybe call it 20 to 30 minutes of consolidation, but SPY probably moves higher, guys. The market is setting up that way. A lot of stocks are turning green. You're seeing accumulation under the hood. So I would definitely look for dip buys. So I'm still eyeing up these end phase. Big squeeze on end phase. SOXX ETF taking a little bit of a breather. SpaceX has turned green. And some reversals in some of your uranium nuclear stocks. We're trying to firm up here. SMR is still slightly red. URA is still slightly red. Nano nuclear turning green. Energy fuels, that's still red. Oh. SMR. SMR might be an interesting play today. It might try to make a push for the gap. Interesting. Just don't like how it's still weak. Ouster's up another 12.26%. That's crazy. Gold catching a nice bid as well. Microsoft still trying to push higher, which should help IGV. I'm bringing back, guys. So your S&P is still remaining quite bullish. SOXX is just carrying the market by the scruff of its neck. IWM is also pushing new high a day. Again, there's still that high pivot that we're approaching from last Friday. If we sweep that on the Russell, it's a potential scalp short zone, guys. I'm still looking and interested in scalping short the IWM once we pierce this pivot here. So the puts that I'm going to get into are, let's just see here, probably just going to buy out the money. Yeah, I'll jump into the 300 IWM puts. Sweep this high. Market's starting to squeeze. SOXX is also going for a liquidity sweep of that red bar reversal zone from last Thursday. There was a hard hourly sell program when we gapped up and they faded us and then chopped us. But SOXX looks like it's going to try there. Uranium, SMR, NNE, they're all trying to firm up as well. SMR just flipped green. So there's quite a bit of buy side pressure coming back into nuclear, uranium. NNE looking pretty bullish. Look at Symbiotic, guys. Nice buy side pressure. SYM. Beautiful. That was a textbook weekly bottoming tail right off a support zone and getting some follow through. Nice. All right, here comes the liquidity coming back into the tape. Things are starting to perk up across the board. More green starting to appear on the screen. IWM going for that 300 sweep. Sheesh, and that's Come on, Russell, sweep that high. Get a big squeeze. Plug power now at 5.79%. Squeezing. QQQ now up 1.23%. Google still right. Amazon and Meta still struggling, but Tesla up 0.7, AMD up 3.2, Intel having a nice day up 4.7. Micron still lagging a little bit, but it's green. SpaceX up 1.4. Microsoft trying to clear 372, but struggling really all morning to clear that zone. It's still at 0.88%. Oh, Russell. SOXX is still squeezing higher. Short signal on the Russell. I am in the 300 puts. Gonna be on $5 a con here. Still crazy resilient. Nice rejection off that double top on the Russell, guys. I'm looking at trimming into this trend line here. 299.60. $10 a con on that Russell short. Come on. Even stop on the Russell trade. We're up $20 a con. Break even stop on Russell. Trade is risk free. Looking at trimming half into that 299.60 area. Come on. Natural gas up 4%. Silver up 3.38. Bitcoin still struggling. VIX is down. SOXX is still strong as heck. Still seeing a little bit of sell side pressure hitting IWM. This is a big spot for the Russell. I'm looking at the biotech chart, and if biotechs lose its prior day high, we could have a pretty big fall in the Russell here. Come on, IWM. We are up still $10 a con, $12 a con on these Russell puts. Looking for a little bit more. I'm looking at trimming half here, guys, very shortly. All right, that is a trim spot there for the Russell, guys. It's a small trim spot as we approach that trend line. I'm going to trim half. All right, guys, I trimmed half the Russell puts off that trend line, locked in 25% gain. Getting a back test of that area. If you didn't get a trim, you can trim now again. So I trimmed half, 25% gain. Stop at break even. Going to leave the rest of the runners. Trade is risk free. Nice job if you sniped those 300 puts with us, guys. That was telegraphed well in advance. We said we're going to jump into 300 puts at a sweep and pierce of this high. That's exactly what we did. And the trade worked out quite well. 25% gain in your pocket. And it could turn out to be more if we get a flush into prior day high. That's where I'd look to trim the rest of these. All right. But that trade, nice job. Trade risk free. Great little snipe. And don't let it go against you if you're in. Nice. Contracts are pushing up even higher, up over 30%, 32%, 35%. Come on. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Nice push down, guys. Nice push down. Haven't even seen the S&P. That's a beautiful bearish engulfing, guys. Next trim is coming up, guys. Next trim. Still haven't had biotechs break down, but they're close. Come on. Retest that prior day high. Come on. You can do it. So hard rejection on regional banks. Still think there's a strong chance that XBI is going to lose that prior day high. It's been chopping right around that zone. It's looking somewhat weak. Bit of a double top rejection on SOXX, but SOXX still looks crazy strong. IGV still trying to flag sideways. I am getting a sell signal on biotech intraday chart, 10-minute chart, XBI giving me a bit of a sell signal, so that should push the Russell lower. Come on. Nice push down on the Russell, guys. Come on, baby. Drop it lower. Drop it lower. We're up over 50%, guys. Nice push, guys. All right, I am taking my profits here on the Russell, guys. I am taking profits all out of my Russell puts. If you want to leave runners, by all means, it does look like it could be a crazy lotto, but I banked 55% gain there. Beautiful. Right into that prior day high like we discussed. Nice drop. And it could go lower. You could easily retest pre-market low. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised for a 296, but I might jump into some 296 lottos just in case they flush us hard here. I feel like they're going to rebalance the Russell. Yeah, I'm going to jump into some IWM 296 lottos. 296 lottos. I'm going to play with a bit of profit. Size for loss. Small size, guys. Just in case. So 296 lottos, 13 cents on the Russell. Just 5 contracts playing with profit. All right. Small size. Other than that, guys, I mean, I think I'm done day trading for the day. I don't think there's going to be much more upside. Don't know if we're going to get a big flush. It is month end, quarter end, so expect there to be some rebalancing at some point intraday. Usually it happens near the end of the day. I feel like if anything, they're going to sell the IWM, rebalance that. That's been so strong for quarter one. And I feel like the Russell's due for a nice little correction, but we'll see what happens. Other than that, nice little trade there on the Russell. Made a couple other ones that stopped us out. But overall, things are still holding somewhat steady here. So I don't think there's going to be too big of a flush. Hmm. Still got some strength in semis, a little bit of buy side pressure in solar. Software's mixed. Energy's mixed. Ouster's having a nice day. INVZ, that's still trying to push as well. Wouldn't mind seeing INVZ squeeze to $1. That would be cool. His chart, daily chart is crazy wild. If it clears this high pivot, yikes. She's gonna fucking rip. All right, guys, I've pretty much done my trading for the day. If anything crazy happens, I'll jump back on the mic. I'm gonna keep the stream going. I'm still watching some things here. Wouldn't mind doing another trade, but not seeing really anything that I like. Just gonna sit with these Russell puts in the event that we flush to the downside. But that's not my base case. Drop on the Russell, guys. Starting to try to give up momentum here. So it's clean rejection on the IWM. Losing prior day high, this thing could melt pretty big. Well, if we replicate this same move down here, we're looking at a 295.50 symmetrical move. Wild. ISO program hitting the tape. We are seeing the markets losing a bit of structure here. Nice continuation decline here in the Russell. Does look like they're going to take it down to pre-market low, probably at the minimum. All right, guys, it's pretty much turning into a little bit of a slow, nothing burger grind higher. So I'm gonna call the stream to an end for the day. I'll keep Telegram going in the background in case anything crazy happens. Uh, haven't quite decided if I'm gonna jump back on for the afternoon session yet. I'll be watching price action, but don't know if I'll trade it. But hopefully you all make some money. Again, not expecting too much movement. The trend is still strong. SPY above pre-market high, IWM above pre-market high. Watch out for a little bit of profit taking into that London close in the next 13 minutes. And then maybe after that London close, the rest of the trend will continue to grind higher. Um, all right, guys, we'll see everyone, if not in the afternoon, tomorrow morning. Take it easy.